morning. All right, who do we have here? Pat and Bob, good morning. Hi, Brenda. Glad you guys made it. You ready for some sun salutations? Yes. Okay, I have a couple of blocks close by. Totally optional, but they could be nice for some of the lunging we're gonna do. I wanna see who else is joining us. Hey, if you're connecting, let me know so I have an idea what kind of group we have here. We're gonna do some sun salutations today with some variations. So we've got about 30 minutes. We'll include some good standing poses too. Okay, we're gonna give people maybe another 30 seconds to a minute to say hi, let me know you're on, and I'm gonna make sure my mat is in a good spot. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, we start standing, and we're gonna add, like I said, some variations. So to begin, we're gonna start actually with our feet hip distance apart in standing Tadasana mountain pose. Hi, Carol. Okay, so centering your feet right under your hips, your toes in line with your heels. We wanna lengthen the tailbone down, drawing the belly in and up, lifting through the top chest, opening through the chest. Feel the presence of your shoulder blades on your back. And when you lengthen your hands out to the sides, you're extending through the fingertips. And there's a bit of kind of almost a hollowness in the armpit so that your upper back reflects kind of the openness of your chest. So both are broad. You're not pinching your shoulder blades together. Lift through your toes so you begin to activate energy up through the feet into the legs, rising up through the spine, length between the crown of the head and the soles of the feet. We're going to gaze slightly down the nose and tune into the breath so you start to draw your awareness inward. Start expanding the lungs and the ribs a bit more with each breath. And we'll draw the palms together right in front of the heart. And you're going to lengthen up through the back of the neck, allowing the chin to just slightly come in and back. Listening for perhaps the sound of your breath. And beginning Surya Namaskar, inhale, lifting through the heart, and as you exhale, lower your hands down to your sides. Inhale, spin the arms up, gaze high, and we're gonna exhale and press the arms right down to our sides. Same thing 2 more times. Inhale, lengthening through the side body, firming the legs as you exhale. Feel the space between the ribs and the hip bones as you inhale, arms up, and exhale, arms down. Plug the thumbs right into the sternum, roll the shoulders back, take a full breath. As you exhale, release your hands down. Inhale, spin the arms up. We're gonna bend the knees here and roll the pelvis over the head of the thigh bones. Hands by your feet, tuck the chin. Inhale, hands to the shins, look up. Exhale and forward fold, look down the nose. Now start to look up and press through the soles of the feet. Inhale, draw the arms up, overhead. Exhale, arms down to your sides. Same thing 2 more times. We're just gently loosening up the backs of the legs as well as the spine. Release the head. Inhale, stretch up and out through your sternum. Look up. Exhale, forward fold. Tucking the tailbone slightly. Feet are active as you inhale, drawing yourself skyward. Exhale, press the arms to the sides. And again, inhale, overhead. Gaze at the brow, leading with the chest and the chin. Exhale. Inhale, stretch the ribs away from your waist. Look up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Tuck those sit bones under. Inhale, come back up. We'll exhale the palms down in front. Step the feet together. Even standing, Samasthitihi. Feel your weight distribute evenly through the feet. Feel the breath. Inhale. As you exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale and swan dive. Inhale, flat back. Now we're gonna lunge, so if the blocks are helpful, step 1 foot back, you're on the ball of the foot, front knee is right over the heel. Blocks are there so the chest is open. Inhale, look up. Exhale, push back through the heel that's behind you. Then we're gonna plant the hands and step into plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists. Lower your knees, look up, and bend those elbows straight back toward the hips, chest through the upper arms. Then squeeze those elbows toward your ribs, hands by your chest, tops of your feet ground. Inhale and lift into cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, up to all fours, tuck your toes and stretch back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Holding here for 5 breaths. If it helps to count your breath to make sure you're breathing, then do that. Activating your hands as though they're little tiger paws, pressing into the fingertips, hollowing out your palm to lengthen your arms, your ribs, and your hips nice and high. 1 more breath. Inhale, stretch those hips up and back. Exhale, bend your knees. You're gonna look forward and step the opposite foot to the front of your mat, pausing in that lunge with blocks or without. You can also be here on your thigh. Lengthening through your inner back leg. Before we bring that back foot forward, imagine you're lifting the belly off of the front thigh and then bring that back foot in. Hands to your shins. Inhale, stretch the front of the spine. Exhale, look down your nose. Feel the 4 corners of the feet ground. Inhale, float to the upper body to standing. Exhale, back to Samasthitihi. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the hands. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, the belly folds, the chest, the chin, and last the forehead. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back into a lunge. Hands by the foot, forearm on the thigh, hands on your blocks. Now we're gonna ground the hands down, step back to plank pose, pause here, tiger pause with your hands, float the belly, stretch through your inner heels, then drop the knees down, look up, slide the elbows alongside the outer ribs, ground your feet, Draw the shoulder blades together. Inhale, open the chest. Pause, bend the elbows more, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, tuck your chin as you lower. Inhale, all fours, tuck your toes, stretch back into downward dog. Listening for your breath, counting each breath. Finding length and expansiveness with every inhale. An area to strengthen and soften with your exhale. On an exhalation, bend your knees, look forward, step one foot between your hands up front to runner's lunge. Lengthen through that inner back leg, scoop the belly up, bring that back foot in, hands to your shins. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, crown of the head releases. Tailbone tucks under, feet ground. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms up. Fold the pelvis. Feel the head of the hip bones folding over. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step both your feet to plank. You can lower your knees or keep your legs straight and drop the chest down, your whole front body down to the mat. Roll back your shoulders, inhale to cobra. And if you're familiar with upward dog, then lift the backs of the tops of your legs off of your mat. You're on the tops of your feet and your hands and your arms are straight, chest lifts. And then we're gonna tuck the chin, flip your toes, scoop your belly, stretch back into downward dog for 5 pretty smooth and even breaths. If you have to breathe naturally, then do. If you know Ujjayi Pranayama, then breathe with that audible breath. Now bend both knees, look forward, and walk your feet up toward your hands. Stretch the spine, lift the belly. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana, and then it's like the spine almost springs up out of the pelvis. Inhale, lift through the side body. Exhale, even standing. Take a breath, inhaling. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms up, look up, gaze at your brow as you swan dive over the legs. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step back into plank. Option to lower your knees or keep the legs straight and come down through chaturanga. Inhale into either cobra or upward dog. So tops of the feet are down, hands are down, your legs are off of your mat. And tuck the chin, scoop your belly, tuck your toes, and come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tailbone is high, hips are high, arms are working boldly as you externally rotate your upper arm bones, internally rotate the lower arm bones by grounding between the thumb and forefinger. Maybe you feel some heat building up. We're going to bend the knees, look forward, and walk or hop your feet up toward your hands. Stretching from the crown of the head through the tailbone, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Now lead with the crown of the head with firm feet. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, even standing. Pause for an inhale. Exhale, release your hands down. Inhale, spin the arms up. Gaze at the brow. Exhale. Inhale, stretch the front of the spine, look up. Exhale, step back to plank, pause, take an inhalation, and exhale, lower toward the mat, either all the way down or chaturanga, and either cobra or upward dog on your inhale. Flip those toes, exhale back, downward dog. Space between the vertebrae. Opening your sit bones. Grounding through the feet. And exhale, bend your knees, look forward and walk or hop your feet between the hands. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs, Uttanasana. Firm the feet, maybe you even open the toes as you inhale, rising up. Exhale, Samasthiti. We're going to take an extra pause just to observe sensation, observe your breath, maybe even feelings. All right, and now form B with variations. We're going to bend the knees, scooping the arms overhead for Utkatasana. Chair pose. You're sitting back with your hips hinging at the ankle, the knee, the hip. We're going to inhale and straighten the legs. Look up. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step one foot to the rear of your mat, and you're going to lower that knee down on the top of the foot. We're going to come into a variation of warrior one. So lift the arms high, hips are down and forward. If the shoulders are tight, I would say just look straight ahead and spin your pinky fingers to the midline. If shoulders and neck feel okay, bring the palms together and look up and let the head roll back. And we're gonna look forward. Exhale, drop your hands by the front foot. Tuck the toe behind you, lift the knee. We're stepping into a bit of flow. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Other footsteps forward. Drop the back knee and the sole of, or the top of the foot. Inhale, lift your arms into a variation of warrior one that's good for your shoulders, back, and neck. Just another breath. Exhale, watch the hands come down. Tuck your back toe. Stretch that front foot behind you. And remember, you always have the option to lower the knees, chest down. You can come into cobra if upward dog is not for you. Exhale, tuck the chin, come up through all fours, stretch back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. 5 breaths. Backs of the legs are starting to open up at this point. So we can begin to perhaps straighten the legs a little bit more, or at least visualize your inner thighs reaching up and back. Now bend the knees, look forward, walk or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Stretch the belly, the ribs, and exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, arms by the ears, Utkatasana, and Samasthiti, even standing. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same thing. Now you've seen I wanted you to kind of see upward dog from this side. Samasthiti, bend the knees, come into Utkatasana. Straighten the legs as you inhale, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, and exhale, step one foot to the rear of your mat, lower the knee, top of the foot, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come down, tuck your back toe. Front foot to the rear of your mat. Choose the either knees down or knees straight. Option to lower as you exhale. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, downward dog. Opposite foot steps forward. Back knee, top of the foot drops. Inhale, variation, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands down. And step that front foot back. Follow your breath. Exhaling as you lower toward the floor. Inhaling as you open the chest. Exhale, come down. Inhale, all fours, tuck the toes. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathing laterally into the ribs. Breathing fully into the front of the ribs and the back of the ribs. And bend the knees, look forward, return your feet to the top of your mat. Stretch the sternum forward, look up. Exhale, look down the nose. Bend the knees, drop the hips, Utkatasana. Back to Samasthiti. We have 3 more rounds. We're gonna change the variation of Warrior 1. So when we step back it'll be a step forward, but I wanna point out one thing with your back foot. The classic pose, the back foot is at a 45-degree angle and the heel is down, and you're not on a tightrope. You have to have a little lateral space between your feet. Your front knee is directly over the heel. It's definitely not past it. And the idea is to square your hips forward. Now, your hip bones usually are not going to be parallel, but you're working to bring the back hip forward, your front hip back. And the arms are up by the ears and the palms come together. So sometimes this is uncomfortable for the back foot for certain people. If that's the case, just do a high lunge. So see how I turn to the ball of my back foot? Okay, so just demonstrating that so that as we're flowing, you can kind of work through a good modification. Samasthiti and Utkatasana. Inhale, straighten your legs. Look up, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, stretch the spine. Exhale, step both feet to plank and lower down, either with the knees on the floor or away. Choose a back bend, cobra or upward dog as you inhale. Exhale back, downward dog. This is where the left heel plants behind you at a 45-degree angle. Your right foot steps forward, front knee over the heel. Inhale, 1 breath up. Exhale, right back down. You turn to the ball of the foot to step back into plank for Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. Right heel drops, back foot's at a 45-degree angle, front knee over the heel. Inhale, 1 breath up. Exhale, 1 breath down. Step back, pause, inhale, exhale, lower, inhale, open the chest, exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you may notice the breath gets fairly rapid, but we train ourselves to even it out, smooth it out, by using Ujjayi Pranayama, the audible breath. There's a slight closing in the back of the throat, the glottis. And we can hear and measure and control the breath. Exhaling, bend your knees, look forward, walk or hop your feet up. Inhale, stretch the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana, bend the knees, Utkatasana, Samasthiti. 2 more times. Is anybody hot? I'm like totally regretting having that fire on. Bend the knees, arms by the ears. Exhale, sit down. Inhale, grow tall. And take that length and pour it over the legs. Inhale, stretch the ribs forward. Exhale, step back to plank. Choose any kind of variation as you lower and you lift and you flip back to downward dog. Ground your left heel, step your right foot forward. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. Exhale, come down, step front foot back. Follow your breath. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, stretch back, right heel grounds, left foot forward. Inhale, side body, inner arms lift. Exhale, lower. Follow the breath. And then even it out. And if you're getting a little tired, feel free to come into child's pose instead of downward dog. We only have one more round, so stay with it. Feeling that long spine as you lift your hips and relax your head. Bend the knees as you exhale. Look between the hands. Return your feet up. And stretch the ribs away from your waist. Exhale, look down your nose. Bend your knees. Arms by the ears. And grow tall. Exhale, Samasthiti. And our last round. Returning to the top of the mat. Gazing down the tip of the nose. Take your hands to your hips and then step or hop your feet hip distance apart for Padangusthasana. Firm legs, lift your chest, look up, gaze at the brow as you fold your hips over the head of the thigh bones, reaching for the big toes with your two first fingers and your thumb. So you just create a loop around the big toe. Then inhale, look up, stretch your sternum out, and as you exhale, bend the elbows toward the side edges of your mat, bringing your front ribs toward the thighs, rolling the shoulders away from your ears. You can totally have your knees bent. It's actually almost better unless it's really easy for you to be in a full forward fold, laying your ribs directly on your thighs with your legs straight. If that's not you, then bend your knees a little bit so your spine will release and you can start opening the hips a bit more. Inhale, look up halfway, and you're gonna take your hands, your hastas, and slide them under the padas, the feet. I usually do a little separation, some weird Spock thing, Star Trek thing, so I don't step on my fingers. Slide them under your feet. Eventually the ball of the foot is really all the way onto kind of the heel of your hand. Inhale, look up, and exhale, bend the elbows. Totally feel free to bend your knees. Let the shoulders move toward the mid-back. This is really nice on the wrists, unless you have wrist pain or you're recovering from a surgery. Probably don't want to do this one. You maybe would want to grab your ankle instead. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, release your hands. Place them on the hips and then tuck the tailbone under so you're using your hamstring strength to help you rise up and stand. Nice. Step your feet back together. Samasthitihi. Long neck, long spine, firm legs, soft face, smooth breath, open heart. And that concludes today's practice. Thank you so much. Namaste. And hey, if you're fired up at this point and you want to continue, then continue. Do some standing poses, do some more stretching. I don't know about you, but I'm nice and warm. So if that's enough, I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more, go ahead and continue on your own. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.